for many people, when they want to awaken, when they want to realize the self, it is a lot in the beginning, actually, of sort of becoming aware of the mind, like having a distance to the mind, like really finding the gap to the mind. And one of the interesting things is what happens to you in sleep. And in this sutta, he talks actually about what happens with the mind in sleep. And it says that there is a support by tamas, by this really, really heavy energy, that all these vrittis, all these oscillations of the mind, are actually absent. What he's talking about is not the sleep where you dream, but deep sleep. And what happens in this deep sleep is what he talks about, the absence of knowledge. What's meant by that in this context is actually the absence of your identity. It is the absence actually of identity and memory. And memory and all these kind of things actually contribute to identity. It is what your identity construct is warped around. Awareness, presence, what you are, always exists. It is always already present. It is always already present also when you sleep. That's where you also know, the only thing you can know after deep sleep about yourself is you were there were no mental activities in deep sleep, but you still existed. There is something prior to you as the identity. That's the understanding or the wisdom you can actually gain from deep sleep. It is that when you are in deep sleep, you are not aware of yourself as a person. You are not self-conscious. You are not having your memories come up. You are not having your knowledge base come up. Nothing that defines you is actually present. And it is basically a support by this tired energy that in deep sleep you are sort of returning actually to awareness itself. You are in the nothingness. But the difference between deep sleep and your actual realization is that you can awaken to this realization of yourself as awareness or pure presence while conscious, like consciously realizing it. Obviously, in deep sleep, you are not conscious. Awareness is still present. As you start becoming more and more aware of awareness, anyways, your whole sleep starts to change. Your dreamscape starts to change. It is more and more everything. Your lived reality, your dream state, everything is informed by your true identity, as awareness. So your dreams, like your ability to be a vehicle for consciousness, is then actually also present within the dreamscape, within the dream state. There is actually you as awareness is always aware. And all of the waking hours, but also all of your sleep dream hours is a way how awareness functions, or can function through you actually, because even the waking state in a way is a dream state, is a dream world. But in deep sleep, you are not, such a precious time because you're not aware of your identities. And this is something you can observe in yourself, is literally in the morning, how this idea, like what are the first thoughts, and before the first thoughts, like this momentum of clarity, this momentum, this gap where there's nothing, and then your memories come online and everything else comes online. And once you are aware of awareness, you are connected to yourself as presence, then it's also really interesting when people stay at your house, for example, and there is the mental activity that is often so strongly connected to one's preoccupation with yourself, like with yourself, with your personal self and your personal life and whatever else is happening. And then there comes a momentum when you actually know that the person is asleep or the person is still awake, because the mental activity subsides. And then it is almost as if they are gone. Obviously they are not gone, they're still in the room sleeping, but what is gone and is literally all the construct. They are then really abiding actually in the pure nothingness, and there's not a conscious effort to abide in it, but you're actually returning. You could say you're actually returning every night in deep sleep. You're returning to your essence. You're returning to what you are. And in this way, like we're always stressing, awareness is already in the background. Awareness is always present during your life. But actually also this return, this remembrance, this abiding is naturally taking place for every person every night. Once these identities actually fade away, the memories that support identity, usually the knowledge that supports your identity, all the things that come online each day, and to become aware what happens every morning, and also to become aware what happens every night, and to also know this when you are seeking, that you are returning. You are already actually always this presence, but you are also returning. Every night you are returning. How does a return happen? It is always the release of the sense of identity. And what you do as you realize the self is to let go of the sense of identity in a conscious way, while being conscious, realizing what is there, stepping away from the mind. And so Patanjali, all these sutras, like the previous ones, these ones were all about these mental activities in order to actually tell you to create some distance already to the mind, but also to see this, for example, you are already returning. You are already releasing identity every night that you sleep. But something in you still exists. The purity of essence that you are in deep sleep still exists. The only thing that is really gone is the filters. All the filters are gone. Existence is never gone. You're still existing. You're still there. Awareness is still present as you sleep. There is still you as pure presence. Just all these ideas of self are extinguished for the time of deep sleep. And so it is this returning that's already shown as happening in deep sleep.